We're here in the middle of the Northcliffe fire area, which was a very severe fire that went across 98,000 hectares back in February 2015. This is a really important area for quokkas, and we were very concerned that many of the quokkas wouldn't have survived that wildfire. Our supporters were really generous in funding the surveys back in early 2016 to actually help find where quokkas had survived in the Northcliffe fire and also around the edge of the fire. So the next thing that was really important for us to know was what happens to these quokkas over a number of months and over years. So we needed to be able to radio track the quokkas. So the supporters have helped fund radio collars to do that, and also help fund being able to get sensor cameras out into the field as well. And we use them to monitor quokka activity, and also the cameras help in monitoring any predator activity. And our partner in this project, the Department of Parks and Wildlife, are actually then targeting their predator management to those areas as well to ensure that the quokkas have the best chance of survival.
This is an example of one of our remote cameras. It's a Moultrie, a passive infrared camera, which basically means that it's got a heat in motion sensor. So an object that moves across the detection field of the sensor that has a temperature that's different from the ambient temperature will trigger the camera. It's also a zero glow camera, which means that it has black LED lights, which are theoretically not detectable by wildlife. So these cameras are meant to have a lower level of impact on normal behaviour within the natural habitat of the wildlife that we're surveying. The use of cameras really has revolutionised the way that we monitor species, because it's giving us a low-cost technique of surveying for long periods of time without actively interfering with the fauna. So these are Vhf collars, very high frequency collars, also called pulse collars. They emit a signal, a pulse signal, which can be detected by receiver and a directional antenna. The collars are designed to have minimal impact on the behaviour of the animals. They're light, weight and small. The reason that we're collaring is essentially because we want to learn how the animals are surviving and recolonising the Northcliffe fire affected area.
Quokkas are a priority species for WWF Australia. Quokkas are a threatened species that have unfortunately declined from over 50% of their range, and they're actually only found here in southwest WA. There's thought to be about 2,000 to 3,000 quokkas remaining on the mainland. While there's quite a lot of quokkas on Rottnest Island, the quokkas on the mainland are much more genetically diverse, and they occupy much different habitat to those on Rottnest Island. The importance of this project is not just for understanding what happens to quokkas and how better we can manage their habitat to protect them when we're getting these large-scale wildfires, but there's a lot of other important species and threatened species in these southern forests, and what we learn about what happens to quokkas, their survivorship and recolonisation post-wildfire, we can apply the same management to help protect other species in these forests.